This video is to help you complete the character inference charts. This is specifically for the nun and the wife, but this direction video can also be used for the knight and the squire and for the partner. So to begin, as you can see, you need to have 3 pieces of text evidence for each character that you are analyzing. And your text evidence needs to come from the beginning of their section, from the middle of their section, and also from the end of their section. So the none section starts on line 122 and ends at line 169. And what I did was I pulled evidence from lines 128 to 129. So as you can see, that is close to the beginning of her section. So this is the one piece that's from the beginning. So I went to the textbook, the online textbook, and I highlighted the lines. And so it says here, and she spoke daintily in French extremely after the school of Stratford at Bowie. And if I click here, because I have no idea what Stratford at Bowie is, it says that this is a town near London that is home to the Benedictine nunnery. A nunnery is a school for nuns. So the fact that she lived in a town near London suggests that she might have had a better education, and that um, maybe she was more exposed to different cultures because she lived closer to a big city. And so going back to this, I did type word for word that quote, and then I used my prior knowledge, and I said, I learned that in early England, people who only spoke Middle English were commoners, and people who could speak Middle English and French were educated and upper class. This is the knowledge that I brought to this before reading this text. If you don't know what I mean when I say prior knowledge, that means that you need to go back to last week and watch the mini lesson on making character inferences, because it talks specifically about prior knowledge. Anyway, so I took the evidence and I took what I already knew and I came up with a character trait. Because she spoke French and because I already knew that English people in early England were considered educated and usually were from the upper class if they could speak another language. And in fact, French was the language of the upper class English people. So that means that the nun must have been well educated. As you can see, there's 2 more dashes here. So this first one was for evidence number 1. This one is for evidence number 2. This one is for evidence number 3. And you will complete those pretty much the same way that I did up here. And then if you go down to character motivations, you should have 2 to 3 sentences for character motivations. So I started you off and I said, even though she's part of the clergy, the nun seems to care a lot about earthly things. You might not be able to tell that from this specifically, but from what I've read about the nun, this is pretty accurate. So you would just need to add 1 to 2 more sentences for that. And you would complete the section for the wife of Bath the exact same way. And again, you could use these directions to complete the chart for the partner. That's for later this week. Or if you didn't finish the knight and the squire from last week, you can use this video to help you with that chart as well.